It's going to be a big release. Something that you tried to put together on a familial level, something you tried to save, something you wanted to create so that your bloodline, your lineage could be connected in some way, shape, or form. And baby, come to find out they was casting spells against you the whole time. Some of y'all felt it and just didn't acknowledge it. That's why I said for 1 second, remove that blinder. Take a peek of what's happening over there. Listen to that intuition. Go into that direction so that you can hear what's being spoken to you through the Holy Spirit. You know that something ain't right. Knowing that there's demonic chatter happening about you right in your spiritual bloodline backyard. What else is going on here? I told you I was frustrated at the very beginning. I came in and I said, collective, I'm frustrated. We're going to unpack why. We're going to talk about why. And it truly is because, collective, I know. Here's the thing. Collective, we got to really hone down on. And I know y'all about to be like, Cass, I had to learn it for myself, okay? I know y'all about to tell me. But we really got to learn, and we got to do better at teaching the other gifted, chosen, anointed, divine feminine, divine masculine. We got to do a better job at alerting them to this. But we got to be better at knowing the difference between doing the work for somebody else and using our healing abilities to give them the tools to do it on their own. We really gotta know the difference between using our healing powers to give people the tools or to teach people that they already have the tools to help themselves and the difference between doing the work for them. People don't get to spiritually bypass by using you. Tap in. And we know, collective, right? It's the emotional intelligence, it's the spiritual intelligence, and it's know when we are being used. And collective, I know for a fact that when it comes to family, a lot of times we jump into these modes where it's easier for our brains to be like, okay, if I help my family, I'ma still have a family. But if I don't, it's a possibility that I won't. A lot of people in the collective are still in that mindset, and we don't judge them. We don't make fun of them. I just want you to understand that if you are not there, if you've moved on and you've gone through your journey to be like, shit, I don't care about no damn family. I can build my own family. I don't care. If you made it there, that's great. But this has to resonate with people who are really on some like, yo, this is what I know. This is what I've been connected to this whole time. And to completely detach from what I know is a journey that takes steps in time and recognition. That's a part of what's hidden for people as well. This is not just what's hidden, what people are hiding from you, is what you could be hiding from yourself as well. We can point out the spiritual warfare that people are doing to you. But baby, when we turn around and we look at what we're planting within ourselves and we talk about those unhealthy attachments and what it takes to detach, because the other side seems scary and lonely, we got to give that grace as well. Everybody in the collective ain't on the same page. So I just want you to be mindful. And the reason why that's coming up for me, collective, is because I know for a fact that many of you watching this are still dealing with this. This is my family. It's all I had. It's all I know. and still trying to come to an understanding that it's a real possibility that you might not have them once you go through this awakening. Once you recognize that what's really being hidden from you is your ability to thrive without them. That is deeper spiritual work that some people don't ever think about. But the collective gonna help you ride that wave once you get there. Because everybody that's in this chat, everybody that's gonna watch this video later on, everybody that's come to the realization that the only reason that the term blood is thicker than water even resonates with people is because that's all they ever had. No matter how nasty they've treated you. You know what else is thicker than water? Mucus, baby. Okay? Green mucus, which means there's a virus happening inside of your throat and your lungs and your chest where you can't take a deep breath in. I want you to recognize that people in your family, I want you to recognize that people who use that phrase against you, that have done you wrong, only use it to manipulate you into staying in their vicinity so that they can abuse you, baby. And that there are very little spaces where that phrase could be used and it's meant in its purest form. Period. Ooh-wee. Anything else I need to clarify before I go on to what's next, collective? 8 of Pentacles. Yeah. Yup. Ooh-wee. And the 3 of Torches, baby. Stay trying to find a path to get to you. Stay trying to find a way to unlock what your gifts are. Baby, your gifts are from God. I mean, if they want the gifts, look, 7 of Beakers with manipulation. I'm telling you, baby, these people out here wicked, 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 wicked. Wicked. They look like Mark Zuckerberg. Girl, when I said Facebook group, girl, hey, tell me this ain't Mark. Girl, don't y'all to listen. Mark Zuckerberg, okay, I didn't say it was you, so don't be coming over here trying to sue me for paper I ain't got, baby, all right? But baby, when I said this, Mark Zuckerberg, this might be your cousin or somebody like that, I said it was a Facebook group. I said it's WhatsApp. A WhatsApp kept ringing. Okay, Miss Kelly, why y'all laughing at me? I'm telling you, listen, Travis, don't be laughing at me. Y'all gonna get me sued over here, okay? And ain't none of y'all gonna contribute to the $9 billion he gonna sue me for, okay? Talking about cash, I got 5 more than now. My goodness, baby. Let's transition out of this, shall we? Okay. Miss LJ, they do. Y'all, okay, thank you. Look, Travis said we're gonna be a character witness for you. Let's see. Ooh, 100. Ooh, please clarify what this 100 means. The whole 100. Oh yeah, standing on truth, baby. Standing on truth. Integrity. Ooh, integral. Yeah, straight 100. And disintegrate. Yeah, all of this is disintegrated. We already know it has to disintegrate because, see, when they can no longer stand on what. When I decided, y'all, now let's see. Type it 2 in the chat if I can share this story, okay? Type it 2 in the chat. Now I'm not gonna say like no, I'm not gonna say no names for real, but some of y'all might be keen enough to pick up on what I'm saying, okay? Miss Kelly said 2, so that means go for it. Before I started this channel, I had a consultation with a very big YouTuber on how to go about building this channel, right? And what she actually said is that, baby, don't nobody survive when they build a relationship off of beef. That's what she said. Nobody survives when they build a relationship off of beef. And that's one thing she ain't never lied about, okay? Baby. Looking at this word disintegrate and 100, this is telling me, collective, that the relationship that these two hating hoes in the front, they ain't even hiding in the back, they just straight front and center, okay? Baby, when I tell you this entire group is going to disintegrate because they built it off of beef, and it's going to be a lot of infighting with one another, this close relationship right here is going to blow up. It's going to blow up. And you going to, let me tell you something, baby, you got front row seats to it too. I want you, don't be ashamed to grab your popcorn when the show is going to happen anyway. They're going to be tagging your name. Okay, somebody in this group going to be tagging your name on Facebook, giving you all the receipts on what's being said. Now, at this point in time, girl, you can start blocking these hoes, okay? Anybody got time for that. But, baby, they going to start ratting each other out. They going to start going live on Facebook. They going to say, girl, be right there. Yup, knew it. Knew it. Now, don't stay there too long because you can't take all the evilness. But what I am saying, collective, is that this entire display of just nasty corruption is going to be front and center for you to watch. You a bigger person if you don't. Now, I ain't going to say I'm going to peek every once in a while. What I am saying is that I might know what's going on. Integrity is going to take you to the next level. I think there's going to be a lot of people who watch this implosion happen from this cluster cluck of cluckery. There's going to be some bird brains exposing themselves this time around. When things start going live like this, and everybody who was working against you behind the scenes start popping out and showing themselves, baby, I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be a lot more people who you thought was your friend that you find out was working against you, baby. They under the water. Subtracting themselves from the conversation, subtracting themselves from everything. They actually have nothing. Whitney Houston is coming in I have nothing. They're going to be singing that tune. They're going to be singing that tune. And they're going to say, don't make me close one more door. As soon as you hear, don't close the door on them. Tell them they ain't got to wait. You ain't got to close nothing. Let me do it for you, baby. Tap in. Okay? Long live Whitney's voice. Woo! As soon as it starts, you're going to know exactly where it's going. Yup. And somebody, baby, somebody. Collective. Now I'm going to say this. Take it how it resonates. Collective, there's going to be somebody that pops their head out in this entire situation that's going to read them for filth. Not just on your behalf, but on everybody's behalf. There's going to be someone who has the time, who has the patience, who has the energy, okay? Who will be set forth to conquer. They're not going to like the way you were treated. They're not going to like this behavior going on. And they're going to open up their mouth and they're going to read this whole entire situation for filth. You talk about freaking shame the devil. This person coming in with pure intention of just setting the record straight, baby. I'm telling you right now, collective, I'm telling you right now, collective. One. What's this for? What's this for? One, let me know. Put me on. If you can't tell me in the chat, girl, email me, okay? I want to know. See, now I'm being nosy. I'm telling you, collective, you ain't got to defend yourself. You don't have to you don't have to do none of that. You don't do none of that. Collective, this person will open up their mouth and they going to let them know all of y'all trash. I don't care who, what, where. I don't care which one of y'all said what. I don't care who took the screenshot. All of y'all ain't shit. Oh my gosh. Y'all, and listen, you're going to see it. If you don't see nothing else, you're going to see that part, collective. And I love that for you. I love that for you, because there was a time, and I say this from time to time, collective, and I just want to remind you because I know it's a frustrating process. But when people do you wrong, collective, you don't always get to see the part where they are being punished for what they did to you. You don't often see the karma that they face when they do something so wrong to you. You don't get to see that justice all the time, because sometimes that justice is truly between what God places in front of them and them. And I know, and I've said this before, that's a hard pill to swallow. It really is. Because you want to see that they are brought down to their knees because of what they did to you. Quick tap in. This moment is from one of my live streams. If you want to catch these messages in real time, you should subscribe and put on your notifications so that you can join the collective in the comments as it unfolds live in real time. And if you're looking to support this channel, you can join the membership for just $2.99. That's less than a cup of coffee or tea per month. You'll get exclusive emojis, shout outs, and occasional member-only updates. All right, let's get back into it. I know you want to see that because it's going to give you a satisfaction. You ain't always going to see that, but you're going to see this. Oh, no, you're going to see this, collective. Woo, baby. You're going to see this. You're going to see this big time. And that's a sacred message. My God, let that sink in, baby. And you know, I'm so happy for you, collective. I just want to say this. I'm so happy for you. You said, I see it, Cass. I can see it on their face. Listen, I can see it too. It's like it's so clear for the collective. That's why I said, like, no, we're gonna really talk about how it was only hidden because your attention wasn't to it. Once your attention turned to just that one point of reference, everything else started unfolding. Everything else started to, it was like pulling, what they say, pulling the thread, and everything else unraveled. Tap in. And you didn't have to say nothing, collective. You didn't have to say anything. They exposed themselves thinking that because you were vulnerable, that made you weak. Isn't that interesting? That when you give yourself wholeheartedly, not wanting anything in return, but wanting the next person to win. Oh boy. People think that's weak. People think that's weak. And I'm telling you right now, collective, it takes a lot of strength to be vulnerable, especially after you've been hurt multiple times before. You still give a darn so much about the people that's in your life that you're willing to take a chance on somebody who say they ain't got it, on somebody who say they need help, on somebody who really is like telling you that they need it. You still willing to take a chance. Yet again, here you get burned. Yet again, you being called weak. Yet again, your good deeds is being thrown in front of your face. Yet again, I was having a conversation with my husband not too long ago. He was asking me, he was like, how do you decide who to give to at this point in time? And I said, you know, I've been burned so many times. I got to be moved by the Holy Spirit for real. And at the end of the day, unless I'm giving a super large sum of money, my repayment is to pay it forward. I don't want nothing else. Pay it forward. Because the position, there are some things in this life I could never repay people who stepped up and created a bridge for me to get to the next level. You know what I mean? And there are bridges that you built for people that if they planted $1 million at your feet, it still wouldn't be able to repay you back. Now, I ain't saying don't take $1 million. What I am saying is that there are just some things that you do from just literally your spirit that all you could do is say, pay it forward, right? So he was just like, how do you determine that, baby? It's a conversation between me and the Holy Spirit. And so when I think about the times where I've helped people and they've gone on full-blown attacks against me, where they really set out to hurt me, to harm me, to lie against me, to try to make me look bad, to try to make it seem like I'm not who I am, collective, that's how they choose to pay it forward. That's the seed that they sow against you, collective. That's the seed, that's the harvest that they are going to have to deal with. Because if you're paying it forward, if they're supposed to pay it forward, then why would it come back to you? It's supposed to go forward. So they implanting in somebody else nothing but hate. And they think God don't notice that? Ooh, baby. Yeah. And you know what, Miss LJ, sometimes it's not even about forgiving yourself because you ain't do nothing wrong. Unless you explicitly went against the Holy Spirit and God was like, no, I don't do it, and you did it anyway. Now listen, that's a conversation you got to have. But when you just doing it purely from a place of just love, because you understand the mission, they don't want to pay it forward, that's something that they're going to have to deal with. I no longer feel as frustrated as I did when I started this conversation. You want to know why? Because we unpacked what it is that was going on. And we know the type of behavior that's being placed in front of us, collective. So I'm about to close out this message. Coco, ain't nobody talking to you. Okay, we're gonna go outside after this. We're gonna go to the beach. We're gonna go to the doggy beach, okay? Because that seems like fun. Now, y'all, I tell Coco we're gonna go to the doggy beach almost every day. And when I'm driving home, I'm like, girl, I'm going to bed. But today, I'm saying I was going to finish early enough so I came 1 hour earlier, and we're going to go to the doggy beach, y'all. So let me close out this message. Oh my gosh, collective, this was a really, really good message. It's a message of discernment. It's a message of love. It's a message of understanding that no matter how good you live your life, people will not understand that. People will believe that you have to scheme and scam and lie to get the blessings that you have. And, you know, one of the things I like about online is I get to see, it was this gentleman who got an apartment, but he didn't have no furniture. So he talked about him getting an apartment first. He was sleeping on the floor, y'all. And then he finally got a mattress and like a little dresser drawer to put his underclothes in. And he posted a picture online and was like, y'all, I finally got some furniture. I was expecting to go into them comments and see people like just hate on this man. But my God, the community came through and was just bigging him up, saying, congratulations, this is beautiful. Like, maybe turn your bed this way so it's feng shui, your feet ain't hanging towards the window. Like, it was just so beautiful to see, right? Now, of course, you had some hating holes in the comments, but for the most part, the comment section was absolutely beautiful. And I want you to think, collective, I want you to think that even when you thought you was at your worst, people looked at you like you was on cloud nine. Even when you was just struggling to make it, people was like, you got it, $1,000 million, you can do it. People was looking at you, the perception that people have of you, you'd be surprised. Here you are thinking that you, the worst of the worst, you struggling so hard. And people looking at you like you got it, you got everything. It's because, baby, it is in you. It ain't got nothing to do with what you got on the outside. It is in you. People really be thinking, you thinking that you at your worst, and people thinking that you got it made, baby. And let me tell you something, you do, because it's in you, not on you. You do got it made, collective, because it's in you, not on you. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't strive for better, you shouldn't ask for more, that you shouldn't accept your blessings. What I am saying is that at any given time, When you think you like down and out, it's people looking at you trying to get what you got. You could be in a 1-bedroom shack eating ramen noodles for the next week because you just got out of some hardcore situations. And people gonna be like, she got gas in her house to cook. Like, you be like, what? Barely, okay? Barely. Like the example I gave you, the young man had an apartment sleeping on the floor. Think about what sleeping on the floor like that on a hard floor does to the body, to the psyche. And the fact that this young man was proud enough to post his mattress and his plastic drawer and said, look, y'all, I got something. I'm no longer sleeping on the floor. A bunch of us went into that chat and loved on that young man. Take this in, collective. This wraps it back up to high earth. It goes back to how being vulnerable, even when there's wickedness out there, can still allow you to find your community. And you know we are big on community right here in the collective. Don't ever let that get away from you. Yes, collective, you might be out there in the world by yourself right now, but it ain't never going to be a time where you come into this chat room and not get loved on. It's never going to be a time where you throw heart emojis in my comment section and I don't throw them right back. The fact is that, baby, don't ever underestimate what it means to have a community that can show up for you when it's time for you to be proud of you, when it's time for you to get your 10s across the board. We need somebody to clap for you, just to say, I love you. Collective. When you go through spiritual warfare like this, you can heal alone. But baby, if you feel like you just need to be with a community, go ahead on and drop in this comment section. I didn't even ask you, got it. Now, with that being said, look, in loneliness, I know some of y'all needed that message. Loneliness, straight at the bottom. I know some of y'all needed that message. If you just want to throw some heart emojis in my email, be like, girl, I can't throw them in the chat right now. I'm going to throw them in the email because I don't want to show that part of me yet. Girl, throw them in I don't care. Like, girl, what the heck is the point of building a community when you can't take advantage of the community when you need it? And I know somebody needed that message because I'm looking at solitude, feeling detached, feeling neglected, feeling disconnected, especially after going through it with your family the way that you did, especially after finding out that people who you were trying to connect to was really on the verge of just damn near sacrificing you, okay? They back there doing spells on you and all this nonsense. Ooh, my goodness, collective. I'm so glad that this information was revealed to you. Because when I came in here frustrated, I said that you were going to be horrified. So you're going to be horrified at what you found out. And that's why I gave you that, or just not gave you, I made you aware. I wanted to make you more aware, collective, that this part of finding out that people that you love don't love you back, you are allowed to grieve. You are allowed to take that in, and you are allowed to dispose of it as you see fit. You are also allowed to heal through that and come out of it stronger, better, more aware, and still on your divine path and purpose. Tap in. But I know that some of you needed to hear that you are not alone in this, and you are not. A lot of y'all, listen, a lot of that stress is starting to come off of you. Collective. I know that when you in the moment, especially when you find out that people been hating on you this whole time, it is stressful. The fact that stressful is underneath past tense and under lets me know that you are no longer allowing this type of agitation to take over your life. This is but a moment. It will pass. It's gotta pass. And part of this healing on this collective, now listen, take it how it resonates. A part of this is watching the drama go down. Yeah, don't let that panic set in. Don't let that tension get a hold of you and your chest is tight and now you feel like you gotta fight everybody. You ain't gotta fight none of these fools. You don't gotta argue with none of these fools. You let them argue amongst themselves. You stay rooted in prayer and you stay rooted in the fact that God is above all else. Tap in. Seeing big Taurus energy show up. What's coming up? Yup. Protection, warding off spirits. Understanding when somebody's coming at you in disguise. Yup. Woo-wee, mysterious and adventure. Yeah, there's a lot of you might be going into an unknown path at this point in your life. Collective, embrace it. Embrace that unknown path. And I love this for you, collective. Y'all know, I am queen of starting over again. My husband be amazed. I'm telling you, I'm the queen of starting over again. Girl, I will leave the country. I will live in another country. Okay. I will freaking go into another state. I will start over again in a heartbeat. If I need a reset, I'm going to reset hard. And I am one of those people who be like, all right, everything done. Shut it down, close off, don't care, don't want them clothes, don't want this, don't want that. I will move into, my husband was like, when my husband listened, learned my life story, he was like, so you just be like, I'm gone. My husband more like, okay, let's plan what we got to plan. Let's plan what we need to plan, and then we'll move that way. Me, I'm like, girl, I plan as I go along. Okay, I listen. Okay, God got my back. I already know how to move like this. Okay, tap in. I already seen the vision. Already had a dream about it 10 years ago. Now it's coming to fruition. I didn't know what it meant then. I know what it means now. God already be moving with it. Okay, collective. My husband's like, girl, slow down. Collective, what I'm saying to you is that whatever your balance is to start over or reset, take it. You don't have to be like me and be like, girl, I'm packing up, I'm leaving the country. You don't have to be like my husband who's like, girl, let's plan it out. Because you will plan yourself into analysis paralysis. And I don't like that. Sometimes you got to take a chance on yourself. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe that God is truly directing this show and that God is not going to let anything bad happen to you, collective. Tap in. Whew. My goodness. An adventure awaits for you, collective, but you got to be willing to step outside of your comfort zone where you see fit. If you want a journey right now, you got to be here with it. Stay on that journey. But just know that if things are operating in the shadows, you don't be blind to that. You don't let them shadows operate and call upon your energy and you don't meet it at the front door. Revocation is the word that I use. You stay in your prayers. You stay talking to God. These evil energies don't get to move amongst you in disrespect. They don't get to do that. And you don't have to live your life like that. You are not bound to anybody's guidelines to this life except for God's. Period. Some of y'all are angry at God. Some of y'all are questioning whether or not God exists. Ooh. Some of y'all are really trying to figure out where you belong in this life. I can't answer that for you, baby. In my journey to God, away from God, back to God, through God, under God, all that, my journey is mine. I can only speak to the truth that I found out along the way and speak power into it. And if you are somebody who is still a seeker, there's nothing wrong with seeking. You're seeking the truth. You're not operating in a lie. You're not hurting anybody along the way. So don't let nobody shame you for what you do or do not believe in, or shame you for having some friction with your belief. As long as you operate in a seeker's mindset and love, and your goal is to find the truth, you are walking on a divine path that nobody could ever tap into. Point blank, the F period. Tap in. Before I get up out of here, collective, I just want to say this real quick, okay? Don't forget to share this video. I know it's the end of the video. I should have said at the beginning, my bad. Travis, we letting y'all know in the comment section. But listen, don't forget to share this video. Share it with yourself. Share it on Facebook. Share it on Facebook. Listen. You already know these your hating family members share this message in the back chat. They know I'm talking about them. Listen, you got to share it on Facebook, share it with yourself on Instagram or in your email address or in your text message. Share it because it lets YouTube know, like, hey, she over here talking about something that people like and they want the world to know what she's talking about. If you find it in your soul to hit the like button, please hit the like button. Okay. And if this message resonated with you and you are not yet sub, girl, get sub. I see looking at the oh, let me take a picture of this, y'all. Looking at the poll, 34 votes, 59% of you subbed, 3% video was shared, 24% girl, I'm doom scrolling. Shout out to my doom scroll. I'm glad you found me. And then 15% other, please comment in chat. I don't never see nobody commenting in the chat, but you know what, baby? It's okay. Let me take a picture of this because this poll gets better and better every time, just like the collective does. Now listen, the last thing I want to say, and I say it, I have to make it my business to say it to you every time. I love you. I love you, collective. Okay. And don't forget that no matter how you find out this information, how you go about healing, I want you to walk in your divine purpose and in your divine power with your crown on. I love you guys. I will see you around the community. Stay focused. Okay. Stay in your prayers. And I love you guys so much. Bye. Collective, you just watched a crown clip. If that hit, make sure you hit the subscribe button, you like the video, and most importantly, that you share it. And join me live 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, sometimes Sunday, for the full message. Tap in and keep walking with your crown on. Bye.